It's easy to diminish the pain of losing a sibling when you've never lost one, but then you hear Blake Shelton talk about his brother Richie, and it hits you right in the heart. I'm Anya Hammer, and this week's episode of The Secret History of Country Music reveals how Richie Shelton's death was much more tragic than you ever knew. Honestly, Blake's whole childhood was pocked with devastation. Subscribe and give one of these if you've always got Blake's back, and then let us know in the comments section who you'd like a Secret History episode about. Shelton's longtime fans know he had a brother that died too soon, but for the rest of you, here's the full story. It's November 1990, and 24-year-old Richie Shelton is killed instantly in a car accident near Ada, Oklahoma. Blake is 14 at the time and thinks Richie is the coolest, and he might have been right. In 2014, the Old Red singer sat down with 60 Minutes and described hearing albums from Hank, Skinner, Seeger, and Waylon coming from his brother's bedroom across the hall. "I would be sitting there going, man, that guy's my hero," he said. Back to the crash. Richie was in a car driven by his girlfriend, 20-year-old Radina McManus. Her 3-year-old son was also in the car, and sadly, none of them were wearing seatbelts. A story in the Oklahoman the day after the accident cites a county deputy as saying Radina was apparently blinded by the sun as she came over a hill and she didn't see a school bus stop to pick up passengers. Their car crashed into the rear of the stopped bus, and by the time rescuers could free them, over an hour later, it was too late. Richie and 3-year-old Christopher were killed instantly. McManus would die shortly afterward. Blake says, "I remember picking up the phone to call him a week after he was dead. I was picking up the phone to call him to tell him something I just saw on TV, and it was like constantly a shock to me that he was dead." 20 years later, the pain held on, but he was finally ready to talk about it. Blake told the Associated Press that he and then-girlfriend Miranda Lambert were watching TV on her bus in 2010-ish, and they came across his episode of GAC's backstory.
And it was at the part where my dad was talking about my brother's car accident he was killed in, and he said on there, you know, you don't ever get over something like that, you just get used to it, you know.
That line led to Shelton opening up to her about losing Richie. The words and tears started to pour out of them and into an award-winning ballad called Over You that Lambert would put on her For the Record album. That line and so much more came right from his experiences. And listen guys, I know there was a lot of nasty things said about Blake and Miranda after they divorced, but there was so much good while they were married. Let me know in the comment section if you missed them together, and appreciate this great moment from the 2012 CMAs. The couple had just won Song of the Year, and Blake is reflecting on losing his brother and how his dad told him a long time ago he should write a song about it.
I lost my dad in January, and it's so amazing to me that tonight, even after he's gone, he's still right. I just needed the right person to write this song with and the right person to sing it. I love you so much, baby.
You see, married people share all sorts of things. Bank accounts, beds, feelings, songs, toothbrushes. Ew. One last story with regards to Blake's dad. Richard Shelton was not Richie Shelton's father, which means the two are actually half-brothers. Some family drama there, not gonna get into it, but at one point after Blake's parents divorced, he and his dad were living like broke bachelors at an apartment in Oklahoma, where every day after school, Blake would go hunting and bring whatever he killed back home to clean up for supper. He told 60 Minutes they ate a lot of chow mein. Thanks for watching, you guys. Click to subscribe, and I'll see you again next week for another episode of The Secret History of Country Music. For Taste of Country, I'm Anya Hammer.